God.
Hi, I'm Talia. I'm one of the vets at Village Vet in Winchmore Hill, and I'm here today together with Martin to talk to you about arthritis in cats. Now, Martin's quite elderly, he's 14, and he's a very nice boy, and he's going to talk to us about how he feels about his arthritis. So, he's a typical older cat who may start to suffer with arthritis as he gets a little bit more elderly, and he's demonstrating some of the things which we might be looking for. So if we have a look at Martin from the side, we can see that he's got a little bit of a tummy on him, and he's quite big compared to his little legs, so he's going to struggle on his legs more than if he was a slim cat. If we have a look at the back of Martin, show us your bottom, little man. He's got a little bit of dandruff around the bottom here. This is an area where it's more difficult for him to reach as a large cat, particularly as he's got older and lost some flexibility. So these are a couple of the signs that you might see in an older cat with arthritis. So what might we be looking out for if we think that our older cat might be starting to have some problems? Well, Martin, for example, he normally used the litter tray, and occasionally we found that he was actually urinating just outside, missing the tray. He also used to spend a lot of time jumping onto sofas and chairs, and then his mum and dad found that actually he was sleeping on the floor more, not so happy to do that. In fact, they hardly ever saw him go upstairs anymore. So that was really because he was finding it more difficult to get up there. They did also find that he started to put on a bit of a tummy. In fact, a few months back, Martin was quite a bit bigger than he is now, so he has lost a little bit of weight. And what we think had happened is he'd become less active because he wasn't very comfortable with his joints, with his arthritis. So he was doing less, putting on weight, and that extra weight was putting more strains on those joints, so he was in a bit of a vicious cycle, really. The other things that they've noticed is he was being a little bit less sociable. As you can see, he's a lovely cat, very relaxed, very happy to be stroked, and he wasn't really engaging with his mum and dad anymore. We found that he would shy away from them, he might suddenly run off when they started to stroke him, and that was actually because he had a little bit of back pain. So when he came for an examination here at the vet's, we had a feel for his joints along his back. We found that he didn't like it when we put a little bit of pressure in this area along his back. Okay. So there's lots of different things to look out for. Slightly different from looking for problems in your dog, where you take your dog for a walk and perhaps he doesn't want to go so far as he did before, he's more obviously creaky, because cats will simply adapt their lifestyle such that they don't end up in pain as often. So things like we've mentioned before, not jumping up so much, perhaps having a problem with their litter tray, not grooming so well because they've lost some flexibility, so their coat might become quite unkempt, and putting on weight, being less sociable. They're all quite subtle signs that we need to keep a lookout for, and if we do see any of them, the best thing to do is to have an examination with your vet so that we can identify any problems. Now, sometimes it's quite obvious that you have a source of pain in a particular area, and we may or may not want to x-ray that area to have a look at the extent of the problem. Once we've decided what we think we have going on, we can decide on the best course of action. So there are medications that your cat can go on to if we have an arthritis problem, and there are also joint supplements that can help the joints to be as healthy for as long as possible. There's also special diets that help those joints too, and in some cases the cat will need to lose weight or maintain a good body weight, which is ideal for their body shape. So there are lots of different ways that we can help them, and we also might need to make modifications in your home. So if it's not so easy to get up onto a chair, you might want to give a few staged areas so the cat can get up onto one level and then onto another, whilst we're in that interim period of getting everything under control and making your cat as happy and comfortable as possible. Because arthritis is a long-term condition, it's not simply managed just by medication alone. We are looking at a holistic approach to arthritis and having a happier cat in the long term. We'll then have regular checkups to make sure that you're happy and they're happy. So look out for those signs, and hopefully we can identify your cat having a problem if they do have one, and we can have a happier cat like Martin.